What you're about to hear is the real story of one of my clients. His name has been changed for privacy, but the journey is true. He was the kind of man everyone looked up to, the high performer, the unstoppable achiever. On the outside, he had it all: money, success, recognition. But on the inside, he was crumbling. He came to me because no matter how much he achieved, he felt less and less safe in his own skin. Every win left him emptier. And what happened next completely changed his life, because he discovered something most high performers never do: that true safety doesn't come from controlling outcomes, but from letting the field itself hold you as you expand. So settle in, because over the next few minutes, you're going to hear how Ethan, the man who couldn't stop winning, broke free from the cage of achievement and found fulfillment in a way no trophy or title could ever give him. And as you listen, notice where his story may actually be your story. You see, Ethan had everything the world told him he should want: the empire, the respect, the applause. He was the kind of man others studied, the archetype of discipline and drive, the one who always seemed to have more energy, more focus, more capacity. Yet late at night, in the quiet spaces between victories, something else stirred inside him: an unease, a low hum of panic that refused to be silenced. The truth: the more he won, the less safe he felt. This was his hidden struggle. Ethan had trained his nervous system to live on adrenaline. He rose before the sun, fueled by coffee and competition. His calendar was a battleground, each hour a test of endurance. On the outside, he was praised for his consistency. His peers envied his results. His clients trusted his brilliance. But internally, he lived in a constant state of fight or flight. Every win brought relief for a moment. And then, just as quickly, a new fear. What if I can't repeat it? What if someone else surpasses me? What if all of this collapses? Success had become a cage, and though the cage was lined with gold, it was still a prison. It showed up in subtle ways at first: tight shoulders, shallow breath, restless nights. He brushed it off as the cost of greatness. But his body carried the memory of every time he overrode its signals: the skipped meals, the restless nights, the clenched jaw in boardrooms. He had trained his mind to conquer, but he had silenced the wisdom of his body. When Ethan looked in the mirror, he didn't just see success. He saw a man whose nervous system was at war with itself. One night, after a particularly celebrated victory, he fell into a dream. He was running on a track that stretched endlessly into the horizon. His legs pounded the ground, his chest heaved, his heart raced. The stands were empty. There was no finish line, no trophy, no applause, just the endless sound of his breath echoing through a hollow stadium. Finally exhausted, he collapsed. And in the silence that followed, a voice rose from the very ground beneath him: "It's safe to stop." He woke in tears. The words haunted him. It's safe to stop. They weren't just dream words. They were a transmission, a message from the field. Stopping terrified Ethan, more than failure. He feared that if he slowed down, everything would fall apart, that his empire would crumble, his relevance would vanish, and the identity he had spent decades building would dissolve. So, like many high performers, he stayed on the treadmill of achievement, faster, harder, louder, while secretly yearning for a peace he didn't believe he could afford. It didn't happen all at once. It began with small cracks, forgetting meetings, snapping at colleagues, zoning out while his children spoke. His body screamed for rest, but he numbed it with caffeine, with planning, with more goals. Until one day, standing before an audience of hundreds, mid-speech, his chest locked. The words wouldn't come. His body simply refused to perform. For a split second, he stood frozen on stage, exposed. But something inside whispered, "This is the pause you've been avoiding." In the weeks that followed, Ethan stopped chasing new wins. He still worked, but he cut away the excess. He began experimenting with practices that felt uncomfortable at first. Each morning, he placed his hand on his chest and simply breathed. Slow, deep inhales, longer exhales. Letting his body teach him how to feel safe without motion. He created non-negotiable pauses in his day. 10 minutes of silence under a tree. A warm bath without his phone. Small signals to his nervous system. You are safe. Before sleep, he repeated the phrase from his dream. It's safe to stop. It's safe to expand. His subconscious began to rewire safety, not with control, but with surrender. When his body tightened, instead of overriding it, he placed awareness there. "I hear you," he would whisper. "You don't need to hold it all." At first, it felt impossible. His mind screamed that he was losing ground, but slowly his system recalibrated. The constant hum of panic began to quiet. One afternoon, sitting beneath a tree, Ethan did the unthinkable. He turned his phone off for an entire hour. At first, his body shook. His thoughts spun. What if something collapses? What if I miss out? And then, silence. As he breathed, he felt a deep knowing rise within him, the realization that he had been living as if he were holding up the entire world, when in truth, the world had been holding him all along. His empire didn't collapse in that hour. His clients didn't leave. His reputation didn't fade. Instead, he felt a weight lift. He understood. The field doesn't require him to hold it all. It stabilizes him. Expansion wasn't something to fear. It was the most natural state of all. For the first time in his life, Ethan felt fulfilled not because of a title or a win or a number in a bank account, but because he could breathe deeply in his own body. The fulfillment wasn't out there. It had always been inside, waiting for him to stop long enough to feel it. And from that place, the irony was clear. The more he let go, the more his outer world flourished. Deals flowed easier. Relationships deepened. Opportunities appeared with less effort. Because when Ethan felt safe, the field responded with more to match that safety. Ethan's story is a mirror. You do not have to outrun your dreams. You do not have to exhaust yourself holding up the world. It is safe to stop. It is safe to rest. It is safe to expand. The bigger the dream, the more the field stabilizes you. The unseen is already holding you, all of you, as you rise. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, subscribe, and share this with someone you feel would benefit from tuning into it. And of course, if this story and message resonated with you, I'd love to continue the conversation in the comment section below. Big love.